Hello, hello. Welcome to the Mystic Path. This is your full moon, strawberry super moon, full moon in Sagittarius, June 14th. If you're watching this video at any other time, it's not June 14th, that's okay. The messages come to you when they are most going to resonate and most relevant to your life. So it doesn't matter when this video is popped up in your feed, the messages are for you. Don't get caught up on the date because there is no such thing as time, right? That's a human thing. Okay, so strawberry moon, what's that mean? We've talked about that before on this channel, I think. The indigenous and native people of North America used to name the moons based on like what was happening at the time, right? And so some people call this the strawberry moon because strawberries were first starting to ripen during this month. Some people call it the rose moon. Some people call it the bloom moon, like flower blooms, right? Because flowers are blooming. So it's really nothing like, it's just human labels, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So the super moon basically just means the moon is closer to the earth than it normally is. So it's going to appear larger. That's why they call it a super moon. Really quick, I want to mention, earlier this month, I did a June energy update. And I also, if you want to go back and reference that video, it is a long one, but a lot of really good information came through for the entire month of June, and we do touch on a little bit and talk about the full moon. Here is our mystic cat who has decided to join us. Yep, getting as close as he can to the camera. Here, lay down, Bubba. He's a good boy. Okay. All right. So this strawberry moon, some people say will bring luck, love, and prosperity. What I was kind of channeling is it's bringing us space. We kind of talked about that in the June energy update. If you want to go watch that video as well, I know I already said that, but we kind of talk about in there how May was really, really intense with energies because we had 2 eclipses. There was also Mercury retrograde going on. So there was a lot of intensity happening emotionally, both for personal reasons for people and bigger collective reasons, like in the world. And so there wasn't a lot of time to process what was going on because there was just a lot of energy, and that energy was stirring up a lot of things. So now June is going to give us more space. The energy is opening up a little bit to give us more space to kind of reflect on and integrate and take in all of that stuff that was happening in May, right? So this moon is going to be really good for celebrating our growth and progress, and preparing for new adventures. Something interesting is this is the last full moon of spring because the summer solstice is on the 21st of June. So just like how spring is kind of about spring cleaning, this is the last full moon that's giving us the opportunity to kind of let anything else go that we need to, so we can kind of clear things out and clean the slate to start summer. Okay. We can also, with this energy, find ourselves seeing things from new perspectives, right? When we start to let go of things, and release things that are no longer serving us, we instinctively are kind of like shifting into a new perspective, a new journey, a new paradigm, right? And the energy is very supportive of that right now. Okay, so the energy is very supportive. This is the time for us to broaden our horizons, shift our personal paradigms and programs, and change our perspectives, right? A girlfriend and I were just talking about this the other day, that there's nothing wrong with shifting midstream. If something's not working properly, or it's not making you happy like you thought it would, or it's not fulfilling you like you thought it would, right? It's okay to shift. It's okay to change. Sometimes we are programmed, well, not sometimes, all the time. All humans are pretty much programmed from the time we're born, right? We've talked about this before. By society, by family, by religion, by schools, by our peers. And sometimes we get stuck in a rut, and we are just like repeating these behaviors and these programs without ever really stopping and asking ourselves, like, do I really even believe that? Do I even really want to continue this behavior, right? So now is the perfect time to look beyond our immediate surroundings and start chasing the pot of gold, right? To start chasing what our deepest desires and dreams are, to start reaching higher, to start rising up, growing, becoming better, instead of just being satisfied with like our comfort zone. Okay, we talked a little bit about that too in the June energy update. We talked about like the pleasure trap. Are you staying in situations, relationships, a job, just because it's comfortable, right? It might not be fulfilling you, it might not be bringing you happiness, but a lot of humans get stuck. We've all done it. I've done it. You get stuck in situations where you think, it's like that saying, better the devil you know than the devil you don't, right? Which basically means I'm comfortable here. I know what this experience is, even if it's not a great one. I know what it is, and that's better for me than the unknown journey, right? Or what's ahead, or the things that I don't know if I leave this situation. But the energy right now is kind of pushing us for this summer to change things, change our perspective, look at things in a different way, broaden our horizons, right? Take that leap of faith. Also, it is a time we need to keep our heart open, our heart and our mind both, keep them open so that we can ride the flow, because there is going to be, we're going to see some unexpected twists and turns in our lives, or sudden shifts in our values or behaviors. I've already even seen it in some people around me where, like an example, I have a friend, she's had the same job for like 20 some years, and for 20 some years she's been saying, this job does not fulfill me, but it's really good money and I have insurance and la 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 la, right? And so she just kind of kept putting her head down and getting through it, because that's what she was taught to do. And now she's suddenly realizing, like, I spend the majority of my time at work and I don't like what I'm doing. I'm not fulfilled. So she's shifting and changing her perspective, right? Her values are changing because she's realizing she would rather be in a job that fulfills her than keep showing up every day because it's comfortable and because it's like what she knows, right? So let's just keep in mind that we're going to want to keep an open heart and an open mind this full moon, so that we can release anything left that's holding us back. We can shift our perspective if needed, and start new adventures. And what a great time to start it, right? Because summer is starting. Okay, so we're going to pull an art oracle card here at the end, and we're going to use the Beyond Lemuria deck and the Archangel Metatron deck. Oh, there you go. You can see it. I already started to pull a card. Well, I started to record this video one time already, and then I had forgot to put my phone on silent, and I got a phone call. So I had already pulled one card. So vulnerability came out for this full moon. Okay. And then let's pull some Archangel Metatron. See what messages we have from Metatron today. It's okay, Bubba. It's okay. Come here. Oh, yeah. He's like, whoop. Almost spilled my water there, buddy. He's like, no, I don't like the shuffling. Okay. Please excuse the cat hair. So we have vulnerability came out. Okay. Stay where you're at, bub. Okay, well, come up if you're coming. Come on if you're coming. You're holding things up, Bubba. Come on. Look at, he really just wants love and attention right now. Come on, you gonna come up here and help us pull cards? What messages do we have from Archangel Metatron? Whoa. Okay. On the full moon. All right. Red. Safety, strength, and power. I want to make sure there's not a glare. There you go. Anything else? Whoa, yes, okay. Came right out. Oh, communication. Speak up and be heard. In the June energy update, you might want to go watch that as a companion to this. It is quite a bit longer, but there's a lot of great information in there. And we talk about the chakras that are being supported and are being challenged this month. We also talk about crystals that can help you this month. But the reason I bring it up is because one of the chakras that is supporting us in June is the throat chakra, which is about communication. So it's interesting that this came out around the full moon, right? Still, anything else, Metatron? Anything else? Oh. Okay, yellow. All right. All right. Buddy, here, go in the window. Sorry, everybody. The Mystic Cat is deciding to not cooperate today. Come on, either come up here and help us read. But you can't be knocking my papers off and digging on my papers like you're doing. Because it's causing background noise. Come on. Come on. Thank you. Okay. Goodness. All right. All right. Let's start with the vulnerability card. Okay. And I mean, look at this beautiful card. It's got crystals. It's like a little water dragon, it looks like. We got the lotus, some shells. Vulnerability. Real strength, holding space, healing past wounds, accepting yourself as you are, sharing from the depths of your heart, raw truths, compassion for others, removing your armor. Our vulnerability can be one of the greatest gifts we can share. It can also be the hardest. In our society, we are conditioned to put on a facade, to be strong even in times of difficulty. Paradoxically, being vulnerable is one of the strongest things we can be. It's easy to armor ourselves from the harsh truths that may be too painful to bring to the light of day. However, this causes greater suffering as buried pain becomes shadows. Unprocessed negative experiences can incarnate as much more troublesome traits or insecurities than their origin. Listen, and I just want to interject here, I've found that to be true. Dealing with a problem in the moment when you're triggered is a lot easier and it's a lot more productive than pushing that trigger down, pushing that emotion down and ignoring it, and then later on having to unearth all the extra damage and trauma that it comes along with it now that you've repressed it. So, I just wanted to interject. I have learned that lesson personally, and that's why now I deal with things in the moment, right? If I'm being triggered, if something's coming up for me, I either deal with it in that moment if I can, or I deal with it as soon as right? Like if I'm at work or something, I might not be able to stop what I'm doing and deal with it, but I will come home from work and deal with it that night. Like asking myself all the questions. Why was I triggered by this? What am I feeling? Et cetera, et cetera. So, I have a series I'm starting on shadow work, and if anybody feels called to watch the shadow work series, it can really benefit you. And we also talk about like how to do the shadow work, what questions to ask ourselves, how to start to investigate our feelings and to deal with things. So I just wanted to throw that out there, because I recognize not everybody has the tools to deal with their emotions and their triggers in the moment. I didn't used to have the tools, and I spent years in therapy learning the tools. So, okay, so let me just keep going here. When we are truly honest with ourselves in all our facets, we are vulnerable. That honesty is an important step in discovering our shadows and bringing them into the light for healing. Furthermore, when we share our vulnerabilities with others, we allow them to glimpse a deeper part of ourselves. This is fertile soil for trust. It plants the seeds for others to share the places that are most raw or tender for them. Our closest friendships can be formed in this space. The time when we feel too uncomfortable to reach out to others can be the very times we need them most. Having compassion and awareness of the struggle and disorientation others may be going through is a valuable contribution to the world. Holding space where others can be vulnerable is a key element of healing work. Self-love is also connected to our ability to be vulnerable, as it allows us to be true to ourselves, exactly as we are without judgment. The call to action here is be vulnerable with yourself or others. It may also be time to step into the role of healer and hold space. Holding space means being fully present without judgment in a way that provides a safe and nurturing environment. In this place, guards can be dropped and a deeper level of awareness and relating can unfold. Enabling unconditional love and acceptance allows for vulnerabilities to be expressed, for the core of the disease or dis-ease to be discovered, and for profound healing to take place. Okay, now let's see what the Metatron messages are here. Communicate, okay, red came out first. So, and interestingly enough, I opened the book right to red. So, that is what wants to be read, no pun intended. Okie dokie. Okay. Red grounds, anchors, encourages, and supports you now. You may have been feeling tired, depleted, unconfident, demotivated, or lacking direction. Red light comes to energize, warm, and stir you back to life. Red is the shortest wave of light and the most earthy of all the colors. Emerging from this, an ancient elder comes before you who has seen everything and understands the ways of the land and its people. Here he is to teach you, as he has learned to master the potent force of red and use it for good in this world. He stands on red, sacred earth, able to feel his bloodline going back through generations, healed and whole. He will show you how to lead, show you courage, and face whatever is there to challenge, belittle, or derail you. He asks you to stand in your own power and be sure of a solid foundation and safety while others around you may feel scattered and fearful. His energy of strength and determination is here for you now, for you have called him, and he works alongside Metatron as a bridge between the angelic and shamanic worlds. Red needs mastering so that no blood needs to be spilled and no more sacrifices made. The time for peace, not war, is needed. No more fighting over territory, possessions, or what someone else has. He makes us look at where we may still have parts of this that need healing within ourselves and in our family line. His gaze scans the horizon to see any danger, alerting you and protecting you at all times. Standing guard over you, he also makes those who wish to hurt another look to their own issues, and he repels negativity back to the sender. He offers the pipe of peace to you now. Whatever you are struggling with, any negativity that you feel, he says to you that there is another way. To own the realm of red energy as he does requires great spirit. He has truly made peace with the earth and all upon it. Nothing can shock him, detour him, or hurt him. Feel into his energy now. Here is your helper for all that you may struggle with concerning base chakra issues, which may be health, safety, finances, relationships, and security. His presence here may also imply that there are energies of anger, frustration, greed, or lust around you. If so, again, let him help master lower energies and feel instead for the best that red embodies conviction, leadership, passion, and strength, to name a few. As you embrace the learning of the red ray, he assures you that nature can provide all your needs, and that respect for the earth brings her love back to you tenfold. That's a good one. Okay, then communication came out. Speak up and be heard. You are asked to let out all that you have bottled up inside of you for so long, waiting for the right conditions and the right time to be heard. You are asked to dig deep, shatter the walls of glass you have placed around yourself, and say all that is needed to clear the air and voice your truth. Ooh, listen to the thunder as a nice exclamation point to that. Speak your truth, voice your truth. The universe is speaking. So often we are afraid to voice what feels unspeakable, our own true desires, wishes, opinions, and feelings. And yet by doing this, we hide the truth of who and what we are. One of the most beneficial things that a baby does is to learn to talk. The joy of those first few words spoken and the ability to communicate their needs and exchange dialogue with another is a huge gift. However, as we grow, we may learn that our voice isn't being heard and our views are not appreciated or acceptable, and so we grow silent. Archangel Metatron stands ready to help you dissolve your fear. Whatever your wishes are for communication, allow this now. It may also be that you are waiting for an important message or to hear someone express how they truly feel about you. Are you open to hearing the truth without judgment, blame, or expectation? If so, ask for this now too. Let your words be soft, gentle, and loving. If others raise their voice, lower yours. If others speak in hate, speak love back. When others feel unheard, allow them to express themselves to you. Communication is also about learning to listen. You are encouraged to use nonverbal forms of communication, as well as journal, write poetry, create affirmations, paint, play music. Let expression take any form. Do anything that feels right to unlock your emotions and honor them. It may also be that Archangel Metatron wishes to speak through you to channel his voice into your life, your home, your workspace, and your world. To allow his wisdom to be spoken through you and his words of love, truth, and light to be made manifest. His voice can be your voice. How does it feel to hear that? Do you speak with his love? Allow healing blue light to flow into you, freeing it up to be a vessel of the divine, which is what you are. When your words are in alignment with this divine truth, no harm can befall you and no judgment can come, because the one who hears it knows it is the voice of love. You are encouraged to chant, tone, and sing, and to do so loudly. Who and what you are. Your voice is needed. The time to hear it is now. Let it be a force for good in this world. Your voice is unique and belongs to you. Let others hear its beauty, conviction, and strength. Also good. And yellow, which is joy and happiness, which also I feel like is great because it reminds me of summer, which is coming. And we were talking about like this full moon is the last opportunity to clear the slate so that we can bring in this like joyful, right? This joyful, summery intention. Look at how bright and beautiful the card is. You've got a bumblebee there on a beautiful flowers. You have butterflies. Okay. Yellow, joy and happiness. This card links to the sun, your source of light, heat, and life on this great earth. Feel the magnificence of the yellow healing ray penetrating deep into your cells, lifting them in all parts of you to create joy and happiness, and to see the beauty that is around you. Imagine your organs and every part of you smiling. How wonderful does that feel? To absorb the gifts and blessings of yellow is to allow in vibrations of happiness, joy, laughter, childhood innocence, play, and the sun as the life force of our world. We need the sun's warmth to keep us alive and to create growth and vitality. To turn away from the brightest shades of the color spectrum is to turn away and hide from life itself. Instead, look again at how this potent color may help you in your life right now. One of nature's 3 primary colors, yellow is a building block for so many other tones and shades. just as the sun is a primary source for so many areas of life. Let it lift your spirits and mood, reminding you of the perfection of a warm summer day. Imagine the scent of flowers in the garden, the height of a sunflower, and the blossoming of nature's beauty, all made by the radiant sun. Know, too, that this image of the sun works directly on your solar plexus chakra to put you back into your power and a centered place. And really quick, I'm going to interrupt here for a second, but in the June energy update, we talk about the chakras, right? I said, and some crystals that will help, and some rituals and things that will help you throughout the month. But in the month of June, the chakra that was being the most challenged was the solar plexus. Okay, so this yellow card came out for this full moon to tell you, right, to tune in and let this heal you. The yellow, let it heal you. Let it boost your solar plexus chakra. Okay, this image of the sun works directly on your solar plexus chakra to put you back into your personal power and a centered place. Take a moment to think about your core strength. Does it feel supported and strong, or weak and vulnerable? If it needs a boost, visualize yellow rays lifting any heaviness or fear and bringing in pure source energy from the sun itself into the center of you. Tune into your stomach as well and see if it is happy with what it has been fed, both in terms of food and thoughts, all of which are digested here in the stomach. Maybe there is a need for lighter, fresher food or bright, positive affirmations. The yellow ray creates a path back to the positivity and well-being that is always available to you. Breathe in its beauty and light and let it bring you relief from all that is destructive or troublesome. The bee at the center of this card symbolizes the need to reach out to others and be sociable and appreciate what others can bring into our lives. Bees are creatures that swarm together and work together for a common good. So this is highlighted to you now. The sweet honey nectar they produce by pulling together represents the reward for their effort. Yellow also reminds us not to be so serious all the time, but to have a childlike curiosity for life's riches, and not to fear life, but to find a place for doing what we love and being with those who make us content. The yellow wet ray is a reminder that after any storm we pass through in life that knocks us down and saddens us, the sun's energy can restore us back to our prolific best, happy in who we are and what we do. Okay. Those are all some good information. Now, before we wrap up, because like I said, if you want to go reference the June video, please go do so. It was a couple hours long because there was a lot of information that I channeled through. So I want to keep this video pretty short. So let's pull an artist. Let's pull an artist oracle here and see what artist is supporting us in June. And through this full moon, what artist is supporting us through this full moon? Oh, Wasley Kandinsky. And interesting, look at how much yellow is in that card. And blue, which we have both on the table here. Okay. Transcend systems to find spirit. Hear music through sight. Begin with a dot. All right. Let's also check here in the book. Give me just a second. We'll read about this artist. Sometimes there are some good messages there. My only complaint with this deck is the book is not alphabetical, so you just have to kind of, there's no like real order. You just have to kind of find the artist. Okay, here he is. Wassily Kandinsky. At age 30, Wassily Kandinsky quit his legal career in Moscow to study art in Munich, where he converted to pure abstraction, his form of spiritual liberation, and became a key member of the Der Blaue Reiter, which means the Blue Rider. A trained musician, Kandinsky felt color could be as expressive as notes, his own life sounding like a sad tune. Fleeing World War I in Western Europe, Kandinsky returned to Moscow at Revolution o'clock. Oops. Back to Germany to teach for Bauhaus for about a decade before the Nazis started breaking windows. Kandinsky became a French citizen on the eve of World War II, as Nazis confiscated his works and called it degenerate art. He died in Paris within a couple of months of the city's liberation from Nazi occupation. Okay, I feel like as I was reading that, I kept getting, we were just talking about don't be afraid to change course. Don't be afraid to shift your values and your paradigms and your programming. Don't be afraid to ask yourself the hard questions. I feel like he came out because he did that, right? At age 30, he quit his legal career to study art. And you can imagine, and I just know for myself, when I decided I was going to be an artist, everyone had an opinion about it. You're going to be broke. Artists make no money. You're going to struggle your whole life, right? So imagine back then in the World War II, beginning of World War II era, so like 1930, late 30s, 40s. Imagine leaving a stable career in the law, being a lawyer, to be an artist. Imagine the flack he put up with. Imagine all of the things people had to say. And he stuck to his guns. He was like, no, I'm not fulfilled doing this legal thing. I'm going to follow my soul. And he was not wrong. Color is as expressive as music. All right, well, we're going to leave it there because I feel like this is a good place to stop and a very good reading for the full moon. So thank you for showing up. Please like, share, and subscribe if this resonated. Comment below. I always love to hear the comments. And I'm wishing you a wonderful week, weekend, rest of your day, evening, whenever it is you are watching this video. Have a wonderful day. Sending you lots of love and light. Namaste.